The Whiskey Rebellion, a critical moment in the early American Republic. The Whiskey Rebellion was a significant event in the early history of the United States, as it tested the authority of the federal government and the loyalty of its citizens. In this lecture, we will examine the background and context, the main events and consequences, and the lessons and implications of the Whiskey Rebellion. First, the background and the context. The Whiskey Rebellion was triggered by a controversial tax imposed by the federal government on distilled spirits in 1791. The tax was proposed by Alexander Hamilton, Secretary of Treasury, as part of his plan to raise revenue for the federal government and pay off the national debt incurred during the American Revolutionary War. Hamilton argued that the tax would also promote economic development and diversification, as well as assert the power and legitimacy of the federal government. However, the tax was unpopular among lay farmers and distillers in western Pennsylvania. They used whiskey as a medium of exchange and a source of income. They viewed the tax as an unfair burden, an infringement on their rights and liberties. The tax also sparked resentment among frontier settlers who felt that they were unfairly taxed by distant and unrepresentative government that did not protect their interests or security against Native American attacks or British interference. The main events and consequences. The resistance and violence against tax collectors and the federal officials escalated in western Pennsylvania from 1791 to 1794. The rebels tarred and feathered, burned down houses, and attacked the federal arsenal. They've also formed local committees and conventions to organize their opposition and declare their grievances. They called themselves Whiskey Boys or Sons of Liberty and adopted symbols and slogans from the American Revolution. In response, the President, George Washington, was firm and decisive. He sent peace commissioners to negotiate with the rebels, but also mobilized a militia force of 13,000 men to suppress the uprising. Washington himself led the army across the mountains, becoming the first and only president to command troops in the field while in office. The army reached western Pennsylvania October 1794, but faced no major confrontation, as most of the rebels dispersed or surrendered before their arrival. The outcome of the rebellion was a victory for the federal government, which was able to enforce its laws and maintain order in a large and diverse nation. The whiskey tax remained in effect until 1802, when it was repealed by President Thomas Jefferson. However, the rebellion also had political repercussions, as it increased support for the Republican Party led by Jefferson and James Madison, who opposed Hamilton's policies and favored states' rights. The rebellion also exposed the tensions and divisions among the different regions and groups in the United States, which would later erupt in more serious conflicts such as the War of 1812 and the Civil War. The Whiskey Rebellion demonstrated both the strength and weakness of the federal government in the early American Republic. On one hand, it showed the government had the authority and capability to enforce its laws and preserve its sovereignty against internal challenges. On the other hand, it also revealed that the government faced resistance and opposition from many citizens who felt alienated or marginalized by its policies or actions. The Whiskey Rebellion also highlighted the importance of civic engagement and political participation in a democratic society. The rebels expressed their discontent through various forms of protest and resistance, but they also sought to influence public opinion and in policy through petitions, resolutions, confessions, and elections. The government responded not only with force but also with dialogue and compromises to try to address some of the grievances and demands of the rebels. The Whiskey Rebellion was a critical moment in the early American Republic, as it tested both its stability and its flexibility. It challenged both its unity and its diversity. It shaped both its identity and its destiny. It was a moment that defined what it meant to be an American citizen in a new nation. All right. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.